RT Apple TV + Sci-Fi series explains hard decision to leave before season 4. Okay, wait, David S. Goyer just walked away from Foundation before season 4, and nobody's talking about how massive this is. I mean, come on. How do you go from shaping Apple TV+ crown jewel Sci-Fi epic and 87% Rotten Tomatoes darling to just saying, yeah, I'm out? Do you realize what this means? Because I do, and honestly it's bigger than you think. And before you say, Sophia, it's just one guy the show will go on. No. Wrong. This isn't some random writer ducking out of a mid-tier project. This is the architect of the whole thing. Imagine if George R.R. Martin bailed halfway through Game of Thrones. Not just writing the books, but running the adaptation. Yeah, that level. So let me ask you, do you really think Foundation will survive this intact? Or are we watching the beginning of the end for one of the boldest Sci-Fi adaptations ever attempted? You know what this reminds me of? When my friend bailed on our high school group project the night before the presentation. He swore he had a vision. Charts, graphics, the whole thing. Then suddenly he disappears, and we're left scrambling with stick figures on poster paper. That's exactly what Apple TV+ is facing right now. Here's the real kicker. Goyer didn't just leave because he was busy. He flat out admitted this show was killing him. And no, not in the cool dramatic Asimov way. Literally. The strikes, COVID, his family being 20 hours away in the US, a budget that shrank after season 3, it all piled up until the guy who built the Foundation said, I can't do this anymore. But here's where it gets juicy. Because if you read between the lines, there's a secret here. A forbidden truth nobody in Hollywood wants you to dwell on. These mega sci-fi epics are becoming unsustainable. Goyer himself practically spelled it out. Long-running 8-season arcs might just be dead. Problem, and that's the problem we're unpacking tonight. Because fans aren't just asking, why did Goyer leave? They're asking something scarier. Can Foundation even reach the ending it promised us? Remember that Invictus ship tease back in season 1, the word EXO, written in blood. Yeah, Goyer literally admitted. If the show stops at season 4, we will never get to that endgame reveal. He put it bluntly, there are 3 possible off-ramps, season 4, season 6, or season 8. And if Apple TV forces the short road, that's it. The grand Asimov chessboard we were promised collapses into a good enough ending. That's not me fear-mongering. By the way, that's Goyer himself saying it. And honestly, I think that's why his exit stings more than anyone realizes. Because if the creator himself saw that the road might not stretch as far as he imagined, maybe he knew the crash was coming sooner than we think. Look, I love Foundation. You love Foundation. It's Apple TV flexing that we can do prestige Sci-Fi 2 muscle. But let's be real, this is one of the most expensive shows ever produced. The Prague shoot, the sprawling visual effects, the massive cast. Apple tightened the budget after the strikes, and Goyer basically said, I can't deliver my vision on less money. That's like asking Picasso to paint Guernica with a box of crayons. And before I dive deeper, pause here. If you're watching Breakdown Epic for the first time, I'm Sophia, and I go way too far down the rabbit hole on TV shows you love. So if you're into secrets, forbidden knowledge, and the wild theories nobody else dares to touch, this is your place. Hit that subscribe button right now, so you don't miss the rest of this series, because trust me, the Foundation cracks we're about to uncover are only the beginning. Reveal forbidden knowledge. Here's the secret Hollywood doesn't want you to know. Foundation might not even be Apple's story anymore. Think about it. The new showrunner stepping in, Ian Goldberg from Fear the Walking Dead and David Cobb. Good guys, experienced guys, but they're inheriting a blueprint that might not even fit the new budget. Goyer admitted they've got the plan. But here's the thing. Plans are like roadmaps. You can follow them or you can take shortcuts. And when the studio's counting pennies, shortcuts start looking real attractive. This is how tone shifts happen. This is how characters suddenly get dropped. This is how those massive, season-long arcs about psychohistory and the mule can get trimmed into something that fits the balance sheet. We've seen it before. Remember Westworld? Same vibe. Started as a massive, mind-bending epic, then budget cuts, story compressions, creative exits, and suddenly it's gone. Foundation is one wrong turn away from repeating history. And if you're thinking, nah, Apple won't let that happen, they've got money to burn, think again. Goyer flat out said they lost a lot of money during the strike. And unlike Netflix, Apple's not trying to flood you with content. They're selective. If Foundation doesn't keep pulling prestige numbers, it's gone. So here's my forbidden theory. Goyer left because he knows season 4 is the make or break. Apple will let them wrap up with a satisfying conclusion, sure, but the 8-season dream, the long game psychohistory chessboard, that's dead. Mid-video engagement, build tension, humor, audience interaction. Let's play with a hypothetical. Imagine it's 2026. You're watching the Foundation season 4 finale. Hari Seldon gives his final speech. Gal Dornick makes her ultimate choice. The mule looms and then boom, end credits. No Invictus reveal, no EXO in blood, no final psychohistory twist. Would you be satisfied? Or would you feel cheated out of what the story promised? Tell me in the comments right now, do you think Foundation should end strong at season 4, or should Apple fight tooth and nail to push it all the way to season 8? Because personally, I'm torn. Part of me says go for the clean ending, but the fan in me, the Asimov nerd who stayed up all night reading Foundation and Empire with a flashlight, yeah, that part of me screams give me the whole thing. And look, I'm not perfect either. I once tried to binge Foundation Season 2 while eating a massive plate of spaghetti. Bad idea. Sauce everywhere. Looked like someone scribbled EXO in marinara on my couch. So if I can survive that, maybe I can survive a truncated ending. Maybe. But here's my callback for you longtime Breakdown Epic viewers. You remember when I said back during Silo's Season 2 coverage that Apple loves to give us just enough story, then yank the rug before the full world building payoff. Yeah, this feels like that again. And if I'm wrong, great, I'll happily roast myself in a future video. But deep down, I don't think I am. But here's the catch. And it's the one thing keeping me awake at night. What if Goyer's exit isn't just about family time or a budget dispute? What if it's actually about losing control of the story? Think about it. He spent 6 years crafting this vision, laying the groundwork for psychohistory on TV for the first time. And then, when the money shrinks and the execs want changes, suddenly he's stepping back. That doesn't sound like a choice. It sounds like someone being told adapt or leave. And let's be honest, Hollywood loves a sanitized narrative. Hard decision. Family first. Time commitments. Yeah, those are true. But do they tell the full story? Or is this another case of a creator quietly pushed aside while the studio repackages the show into something more manageable? Here's the forbidden knowledge. Most prestige shows don't fail because the writers run out of ideas. They fail because the business side cuts the legs out from under them. It's not about creativity. It's about cash flow. And if you really want proof, just look back at the other giants. Carnivally on HBO, planned 6 seasons, got chopped at 2, The Expanse, needed 9, Amazon let it die at 6, Westworld, cancelled before the real endgame. This isn't new. It's a pattern. And Foundation may just be the next entry in the graveyard of unfinished epics. How audience interaction pull in hypotheticals. So let me throw this back at you if you had to choose. Would you rather see Foundation run a full 8 seasons with all the twists intact, but risk losing its quality as budgets get cut? Or would you rather take a clean 4-season arc with a satisfying, though incomplete, ending? Drop your take in the comments. I'm genuinely curious because my brain flips sides every 5 minutes. And here's a spicier hypothetical. What if Apple's real endgame isn't even to finish Foundation? What if they're setting it up as a launchpad for spin-offs instead? Goyer himself hinted at multiple off-ramps. Off-ramps to what exactly? New stories, side timelines, a Mool prequel series. Don't laugh, it's Apple. They know the Marvel playbook. They've seen what Star Wars is doing. You think they won't milk Asimov's universe if they can? Humor and self-deprecation, I mean, come on. If I were running Apple TV Plus, I'd already be greenlighting. The Cleon Diaries, a galactic reality show. Episode 1, Brother Day tries TikTok. Brother Dawn gets ratioed. Brother Dusk just sighs. Would I watch it? Embarrassingly, yes. And look, I'm roasting myself here. I still watch Fear the Walking Dead. That's where Nuco showrunner Ian Goldberg cut his teeth. I told myself I'd quit after season 5. Guess who was still there at season 7? Yeah, me. I'm not proud. But hey, maybe that means I'll survive whatever tonal shifts Foundation season 4 throws at us. A callbacks to past videos and longtime viewers. You remember when I broke down the budget collapse of The Witcher after Cavill left? Same energy here. First the money shrinks, then the vision wobbles, then the creator steps aside. Déjà vu, right? Except this time it's not a fantasy show. It's the Sci-Fi series that was supposed to carry Apple's flag for the next decade. A closing CTA with suspense loop and humor. So where does that leave us? Goyer's gone as showrunner, but his plan for season 4 is still in play. Ian Goldberg and David Cobb are steering the ship. The cast is locked in. The story's alive for now. But every epic has a turning point, and this is it. Either Foundation rises to prove it can outlast its creator, or it collapses under the weight of its own ambition. And let me just say, if we get to the finale of season 4 and they don't pay off the Invictus or the EXO reveal, I will personally make a meme montage of Hari Seldon saying, "I told you so," in 10 different languages. Don't test me. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Goyer's exit marks the slow death of Foundation? Or could it secretly free the show to evolve into something even stronger? Do you trust Goldberg and Cobb to carry the psychohistory torch? Or are we headed straight for another unfinished epic? Drop your theories below. I read all of them, even the ones that roast me harder than Brother Day roasts his siblings. And if you made it this far, you're officially one of the psycho historians of Breakdown Epic. Stick around, because in the next video, I'm diving into the Foundation Season 4 trailer leaks, and trust me, the secrets hiding in those frames will blow your mind. Until then, I'm Sophia, this is Breakdown Epic, and remember, every empire crumbles but our community. We're just getting started.